Get ready, for you are now on the threshold of a sacred message that is coming to the depths of your soul, guided by a heavenly light. We present to you in this video a heavenly and holy message from above, a whisper of wisdom that awakens your soul. The innermost aspects of you are touched by this time. Imagine showing a psychic a photograph with the hopes of gaining insight and comprehension. What followed was far more than anticipated. Only the flickering soft glow of candlelight illuminated the poorly lit chamber, and in that sacred stillness, a distant chime's faint melody reverberated while the calming aroma of burning sage filled the air. With her eyes steady and fixed on the picture she held, the psychic sat in profound expectancy, her fingertips tracing its edges as if unlocking a divine secret. In this very moment of spiritual encounter, you too are invited to partner in this ministry of revelation. Consider sowing a seed of $20, $50, or more through the YouTube Super Thank You button, or join our channel as a member to unlock greater blessings and deeper breakthroughs. For as Jesus promises, "Give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over." Luke 6:38 KJV. Your generous offering opens the door to abundant favor and transformation. Everything appeared to be peaceful at first. The psychic's face calmed and her breathing slowed, and as she closed her eyes, it was as though she were communicating with something outside of the room and time. The man seated across from her waited expectantly, eager to learn and assuming this would be an easy and pleasant reading. Then, however, something altered. The psychic's respiration accelerated, her hand began to shake, and an uncomfortable grimace crossed her face. If you feel that same stirring in your spirit right now, I encourage you to sow a seed of $20, $50, or more through the YouTube Super Thank You button, or become a channel member to join this community of faith and unlock greater spiritual breakthroughs. Remember the promise of Luke 6:38 KJV, "Give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over." Your generous offering activates heaven's abundance in your life. The quiet mood changed. As if it held a secret that only she could hear, the air became heavy. The energy changed in ways that were difficult to describe, and the room grew colder. Although the psychic's lips moved, no sound was released. There was an uncomfortable quiet. We encourage you to plant a seed of $20, $50, or more if you are drawn to this enigmatic moment and feel compelled to participate. To support this ministry and unlock more blessings, you can donate using the YouTube Super Thank You button or think about becoming a channel member. Luke 6:38 KJV states, "Give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over." Keep this in mind. Your generosity has the capacity to create opportunities for spiritual development and change. In his chest, his heart pounded. He had not anticipated this. He expected it to be a straightforward reading, a little preview of what lay ahead. Rather, a knot of uneasiness clenched in his stomach. There was a problem. He had the unshakable impression that something far more profound was taking place here. Slowly, the psychic opened her eyes. Her eyes were piercing, so strong that he leaned back in his chair out of habit. Her eyes shone, but not in the reassuring way he had hoped. No, it was as though she had been profoundly shaken by what she had seen. There was an odd mixture of amazement and dread on her face. She gripped the picture so tightly that her knuckles turned white, as if she was scared to let go. Now, the room was heavy. An electric tension took the place of the tranquility. It was as though everything had changed, and he could feel the pressure of the moment bearing down on him. I urge you to plant a seed of $20, $50, or more using the YouTube Super Thank You button if you sense this strong change in your soul. To enter this divine encounter and achieve higher spiritual breakthroughs, think about joining the channel. Give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over, shall men give into your bosom, according to Luke 6:38, KJV. Your sacrifice transforms your life in ways you can't yet fathom and opens the door to a wealth of gifts. As though the image had burned her fingertips, the psychic's hands trembled as she carefully put it back on the table. She warned in a calm but heavy voice, "You don't understand what you're dealing with." His interest soon gave way to anxiety. Desperate for answers, he leaned closer, his chest tightening, but something stopped him the instant their eyes connected. He could tell by the look on her face that she knew something that was unbearable. She seemed to be holding a secret that could alter everything, but she wasn't sure if she should share it. Silence fell in the room. The only sound that broke the silence was the faint chime, which now seemed more like a ghostly echo in the distance. His heartbeat accelerated. "What do you mean?" he said in a whisper that was nearly inaudible due to the dense atmosphere. The psychic was obviously torn between speaking and keeping whatever secret she was carrying, as she paused and fidgeted with her fingers. She pursed her lips as though to hold back the truth that threatened to come out. She locked eyes with him as she looked down at the picture once more. At last she said, slowly and deliberately, "This person in the picture, they're not ordinary. They possess a strength and vitality that I have never experienced before." He blinked, bewildered. "What do you mean?" Her words lingered in the air like an unresolved enigma, yet he looked for more in her gaze. "I am familiar with them. I am familiar with their habits and peculiarities. What are you attempting to express?" The clairvoyant hesitated, her eyes filled with something he couldn't quite make out. She inhaled as though she were getting ready for something enormous, the truth, standing there poised to alter everything. The psychic, her palms flat on the table, inhaled deeply and slowly, as though she were looking for something invisible, something that was just out of her grasp. She quickly glanced at every dark corner and shadow in the room. She spoke, but her voice grew weaker and trailed off. "They have power." Her eyes met the man's, who followed them to the dark corner where the candlelight flickered feebly. The corner was still a mystery, even with the swirling flames. The air felt colder and heavier even though nothing was there, as though something unseen was waiting in the shadows. His voice faltered, hardly more than a murmur. "What sort of authority?" A faint line formed on the psychic's lips. Her face was a mixture of worry and caution as she gently shook her head. "Few people are able to comprehend the force. It is something old, ancient, and worthy of respect. It is not something to be treated lightly. It is more than just energy. You may need to defend them in addition to yourself." His gut was tight and anxious as his fingers clamped down on the table's edge. His anxious voice cracked as he said, "What are you saying?" She spoke again, her words deliberate and sluggish, her gaze darting back to the shadowy corner as her uneasiness grew. "They are more than anyone realizes, more than you think." Between them, the quiet was heavy and oppressive. His ears echoed the thumping of his heart as it pounded in his chest. The silence was nearly oppressive. The psychic slowly lifted her eyes to meet his, her lips quivering and her face pallid as she spoke in a whisper that was barely audible. Her words were heavy on the air as she spoke, "I must warn you. This person's presence in your life is not a coincidence. They are connected to you in ways that you are not yet aware of. They are a part of something greater than yourself, and you are not prepared for that." The frightening truth was only starting to take shape as the words lingered in the air. As he struggled to understand her words, the man's thoughts raced. However, he had a gut feeling that something had changed and that something he wasn't ready for was now happening. Like sharp stones striking the surface of still water, her words sank deep. He wasn't prepared for the ferocity with which they attacked him. Before he could stop them, his hands began to shake, and his mind was racing with questions that were coming out more quickly than he could imagine. Who are they? What does this signify? The psychic's shadow shifted in the candlelight as it leaned closer, appearing to grow and contract like a living thing. Her cautious yet piercing eyes met his with an odd mixture of assurance and caution. "They are a soul meant to change your life," she added in a firm voice. However, genuine transformation is never simple. This individual possesses a powerful and enigmatic power. They have the power to mend your wounds or reveal the worst sides of you that you have concealed from even yourself. His blood became frozen as a shiver went through him. What sort of authority? What sort of power? His heart was beating too quickly for him to manage, and his voice was now tremulous. Standing erect, the psychic's eyes drew back into the shadows. He couldn't even begin to comprehend what she seemed to see beyond the barriers. She said, "This power, it's ancient. You are unable to see or touch it. It isn't like anything you are familiar with. It travels via connection and energy. This individual will uncover the dark and light sides of you that you have been hiding. You must use caution." Her words lingered in the atmosphere, heavy and thick, like an invisible burden bearing down on his chest. A mixture of anxiety and the knowledge that something had changed was palpable to him. There was a change. He recalled all of the times he had spent with you, even the quiet moments in between, your smiles and your laughter. All of these memories now carried a burden he had never experienced before. He was unaware of the secret significance of those seemingly ordinary occasions until today. He felt a chill when the chilly air from outside the psychic's room enveloped him. The psychic's final words, which kept repeating in his head, "They are not in your life by chance," were what caused him to feel this way, not the weather. Accept them, but keep in mind that you have the ability to control how this shift unfolds. He stood motionless in the freezing night air for a moment. He knew deep in his bones that there was no going back now. He stood on the brink of something enormous and unidentified. The sensation was both exhilarating and unnerving. Though he had no idea what lay ahead, he knew that this was the start of something greater than he could have ever imagined, something that would fundamentally alter his life. As he stood there now, he sensed the tug of destiny, something outside of his control that was supposed to lead him to a goal he was not yet able to see. To draw love into your life, type 11 inches, and like this video if you sense the need to transform and acquire new benefits. Type 777 inches and like this video if you're looking for heavenly insight and financial rewards. Together, let's take a moment to pray. Heavenly Father, I come before you in search of your knowledge and insight. Show me why I have to tread this route and lead me along it. You sent this soul into my life like a dazzling light. When I feel lost, they guide me by shining in my darkness. Please help me to have faith in your will regardless of what happens. Give me the courage to accompany them on this journey if their goal is to guide or heal me. I know that you already possess the journey's wisdom when this soul's mission becomes evident. With each step, draw me nearer to you. Lead me through every blessing and adversity and let me become stronger every time. Help me be receptive to the lessons if this soul is intended to heal or disclose what lies within me. Lord, please bless my hands while I work. Please bless my endeavors. Give me blessings that shine like gold and transform every adversity into something worthwhile. Guide me with your wisdom and grace. As I follow your divine counsel, please grant me victory. Assist me in thriving and safeguarding my future. Break free from the bonds of debt and hopelessness and replace them with gifts and plenty. Allow your gifts to permeate every aspect of my existence. Lord, change every task I embark on and fill my hands with your grace. Protect the link you've established with me. Let it endure life's storms and grow stronger. May we both grow stronger and demonstrate your love in all that we do. Lord, guide us and take away our anxieties while bringing us joy at every opportunity. Simply write Amen after liking this video to claim this prayer. Allow this prayer and the blessing of God to envelop you, pointing you in the direction of the prosperous life that lies ahead.